So now
Oh,
we're going
that's
to
it.
look at the stability test, and Ben's going to walk us through what that looks like now. I believe it's been running for a few days. Is that correct, Ben?
Yes, it is correct.
All right, so why don't you walk us through the setup?
So the specs changed, and we'll talk about the issues that we ran into. But the goal of this test was twofold. In part, we wanted to show that the CMIX and consensus can run together, and the hardest part about that is resource sharing. And we put a lot of effort into that. A large part of that is offloading CMIX on the GPU, which is also necessary to make it run in consumer available hardware. And part of it is just the proper speccing of the network, making sure that the number of that the amount of bandwidth available is correct, that the hardware available is correct. And so we initially plan on having 90 AWS nodes and 10 nodes in our node lab running CMIX. Unfortunately, ran into some bandwidth limitations. We reduced those number of nodes to the minimum, which is 3. It's still a valid test. But as you'll see, the specs show that the two interoperated well. There's not much to say other than that until I show the data. But basically, what we ended up having was our goal is to maintain 1,000 TPS. As you can see from this graph, we've hit it for the majority of the time. We've had some issues. We had a short outage on about 12 hours after launch, and then yesterday we were doing some testing. We reduced the TPS to try to see if we could fix some issues, which we'll talk about as well. But we could have run 1,000 TPS during that entire time, but we were trying to see if we could solve some problems.